we now know that managing your waist size, and that means W-A-I-S-T, the waist, is probably more important to your future health and your health risks than managing the scale, managing what your body weight is. It turns out that the fat that we develop around the waist as we get older, that so-called belly fat, or we often talk about women looking like apples versus pears, that apple fat, that man fat, is the more active fat. It acts like an endocrine gland, and it actually produces chemicals that lead to inflammation, cause a rise in your insulin level, and it even increase your risk of diabetes, heart disease, and some cancers, because it also produces hormones. So I talk a lot in the book about waist management because in the future we need to focus on our health risks. It turns out there are two types of fats. I think people don't realize that. There's that sort of unattractive fat that women hate, the fat that is around the sort of tush and around your thighs. That fat is kind of right under the skin. It's the stuff that jiggles that you don't like the looks of, the stuff that we call cellulite. But that's kind of a passive form of fat. It's passive, it seems to be protective, and it's nature's way of giving us a storage form of energy so that when we're pregnant or breastfeeding, we can rely on that extra fuel. God forbid there's a famine, something none of us have ever experienced in our lifetimes. But the belly fat is very different. Belly fat is something called deep or visceral fat. It's the fat that tucks in around our organs, insulates and heats our organs, but at the same time provides a ready source of fuel, a ready source of energy, and it's a very active form of fat. Having too much of that belly fat increases our risks of many diseases, everything from diabetes to heart disease. So I focus on simple steps that women can take. Believe it or not, losing 1 inch around your waistline can mean you lost enough belly fat, that dangerous belly fat, to reduce your risks of heart disease, diabetes, and cancer a lot. And simple steps, that means walking as much as 30 minutes a day, breaking it up, putting it into your schedule, into your life, will shrink the tape measure, even if it doesn't tip the scale, and work towards your best health.